I have been in HR for nearly 20 years and I love it, and it's my passion, and it's certainly the career that I've wanted to have. But that's a pretty full-on job as well, so there's a lot of stress involved with that. My husband Tim, he's a plumber, got 2 boys, Patrick and Nicholas, so they definitely keep us busy too. So both Tim and I have been working full-time, and to be honest, we haven't really made a lot of progress in the background. We've always sort of had the things we wanted, the new cars, the caravan, the holidays. We've done all those things and we still intend to do those things. But what was starting to become apparent now that we're in our 40s, we're finding that we can't really picture what that retirement will look like. We're pretty happy with where we are financially right now. However, I think we can see that that's not going to necessarily improve, and it certainly won't be enough for the future. So I guess we sort of realised that we're starting to run out of time and we needed to do something. Tim's auntie and uncle have been property investors throughout their life, and we've always quite admired what they've done, to the point where today they are just travelling around the world doing whatever they want and living the lifestyle that they have always wanted to have. And they always said to us, right back when we were in our 20s, you guys should look at property investing. And again, that was something that we always said, yeah, we want to, we want to do it. But we always found that it was just that little bit out of reach, because we're thinking of, oh yeah, but we've got this coming up, or we're going to have another child. So you just tend to sort of go, we're going to get there one day. But here we are, really, nearly 20 years later, and we haven't done it yet. The other thing that was important for me was to be able to do something that I was confident in doing. So I'm not one to just jump in and have a go. I will actually do all my homework, do the spreadsheets, but with the busyness of our life, we just find that we can't really do that research. So my husband has a friend at work who is a property investor himself, and he saw the Empower Wealth book, Armchair Guide to Property Investing, and showed that to Tim. And Tim was reading it, and then through that, through reading that, he was quite interested in it. He started listening to the podcasts. I'm too busy working to listen to podcasts, so I always found that, I'm like, oh, that's good, Tim's reading up on about it, one day we'll do that. But it really was when he started to share some of the podcasts with me, and then I thought, well, I'll read the book. And I didn't even finish the book, and we'd made an appointment. So that was the starting point for us. I really thought the book made sense. It was common sense. I'm a pretty practical person, so there's no fluff in there, and I definitely thought, this makes sense to me. And if I was going to do the homework myself, I think I would take this approach. But really, there's so much more to it than what I would have, what I've gained over my years of, random property research. So I'm a pretty sceptical person. So I know that from, from all the times when I look out at properties or investment companies that are out there, and how they, you hear so many bad stories that you kind of lump them all into the same category, and you sort of think, well, I can't really trust anyone. I'll do this myself. But the reality is I haven't had enough of confidence or knowledge to truly do it myself. So having read the book and listened to some of the podcasts, I knew I was interested in having that initial consultation with Empower Wealth, and we met with an advisor there. And to be honest, I was pretty much hooked after that meeting. The advisor drew up the Money Smart system on the whiteboard, and it just made so much sense. And even without having gone through the full process at that point in time, I immediately came home and started thinking, oh, I can set this up at home. And I guess it was really just a mindset change and an aha moment for me. And from there, we then engaged with Empower Wealth to set up the next meeting, which was to build a property portfolio plan. So meeting with the advisor was good because we knew that they were asking us questions around what it is that we wanted, not necessarily what a stock standard off-the-shelf product, $2,000 a week lifestyle might look like. So, we definitely need to upgrade cars, and we need to make sure we book in time with the family and have holidays. So doing things like that and putting them into the plan meant that we were in control of what that plan output was really going to look like. It's a pretty lengthy plan, and very detailed, but that's really what I guess got me hooked, because the detail was there, and I thought, there is no way I could have done this myself, just not a chance. So I felt confident after that meeting that, and once we'd got our plan, that we were ready to say yes to the next step, which was to buy an investment property. So that became clear and visible and achievable, and we thought, we can do this. And you know what, we don't actually have to strive to earn more money either. We can still stay at similar salaries. In time I could potentially go part-time and be around for the kids while they're in high school, that sort of stuff. We really saw that some of the concerns that we had around our ability to earn money were starting to not be a concern anymore. It's more, we have a choice and we can work towards what it is that we actually want. 12 months down the track, we've now bought our first investment property. I feel like I haven't had to lift a finger. The first steps were that we wanted to subdivide our property and then buy an investment property. Once we found out, we were pretty much able to do both because the subdivision itself was taking some time with council approvals. We actually went out and bought a property ahead of, we switched it around. I feel really relieved, to be honest, that we've actually done what we said we wanted to do for 20 years. So finally we're here. And it's not been scary. The scary part was making the decision to put your trust somewhere. And because I knew I personally couldn't do all the steps and have the confidence in the decision making on my own, I just knew that Empower Wealth, once we got to know them, they were absolutely the answer. I would highly recommend that Empower Wealth be involved with anyone who's thinking through the process of investment property. I thought that I could make a good decision, but really I'd be making that decision from an owner-occupier perspective and really not quite looking at it from that investment perspective. So that's where their knowledge is really valuable. I really wish that we had this book and these podcasts 10 years ago, because we know that time is what's important in the property market. So it is what it is, and we're in our 40s and we're getting started and we can do this. We've got it all mapped out and we're pretty happy with the plan that we've got in front of us.